We do replay at 5:30 in the afternoon, and others have been asking, wala bang ibang mapapanuoran yung agenda? Well, if you are not a subscriber of Signal TV, please be a subscriber. And if for one reason or another you don't have access to Signal TV because your mobile, you are in a very remote. Pero wala na hong remote dahil puro ano na kami, satellite dish na kami lahat. In any case, you can go on Facebook. Now, some people just don't realize it, that you can also watch us on Facebook and YouTube, lalo na yung mga replays, no? In any case, welcome to the program. It's February 8th, 2021. It's a Monday. It's the start of a new week, and this would officially be the second week of February. And today's agenda would be on the government's side or version of what's happening with the protected bicycle lanes or bike lanes on national roads. And for that, we are going to speak and listen to Assistant Secretary Mark Stephen Pastor to explain to us or to brief us regarding the state of bike lanes in the country, particularly national roads, and I suppose particularly Metro Manila, Metro Cebu, Metro Davao. After that, we will speak with Mr. Mark Timbal, Deputy Spokesperson of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC. Mark Timbal will give us an update on what happened or what's the situation down in Davao, because yesterday around lunchtime, noon, there was an earthquake originally measured at 6.3 and then scaled down to 6.1. We will find out what is the situation, and balita po namin malakas daw at marami raw mga lumabas ng mga gusali, at doon po raw sa mga hospital temporarily may mga nilabas na mga pasyente. We will also speak with our friend Manny Tangco, who is the founder of the Malabon Zoo, Aquarium and Botanical Garden. Marami po sa inyo have seen or gone to the Malabon Zoo kasi medyo kulang na kulang yung mga zoo sa Pilipinas, lumiliit paliit ng paliit, walang budget. Unfortunately, COVID-19, the lockdowns, the health protocols has seriously affected the Malabon Zoo. I suppose the same can be said with the other zoos that are private. Kasi yung mga government zoos naman po, mapopondohan kasi marami ring gastos ang mga gobyerno na hindi nagamit. So pwede nilang i-rechannel some of the funds and feed the animals, because that is a serious responsibility. So we will speak with Manny Tangco and how many of us can help. Kasi alam niyo po, kailangan naman walang kalaban-laban yung hayop. Ginawa natin, dinala natin sa isang zoo para matanaw ng mga bata. Kasi yung mga bata hindi naman pwedeng pumunta sa jungle. Di ba? I mean, it's a careful balance. You know, some people who are anti-zoo will say, well, that's a lesson to all of us. Yeah, that's a lesson. It's not a perfect world, okay? So, in any case, we will speak with Manny Tangco of Malabon Zoo, Aquarium, and Botanical Garden. At paano kayo magbibigay. In any case, before we go to the front page, I just want to read this report I saw over the weekend. Metro Line section of the Philippine Star. The public should report road defects in their areas. Department of Public Works and Highways Secretary Mark Villar said the other day, the general public may report any defect or concern along national roads that need immediate rectification, and we will do our best to implement palliative measures. Pansamantala, pangmadali ang solusyon, okay? If not long-term solutions. Villar said through the DPWH Secretary's hotline 16502. Ulitin ko po, no, dial nyo 16502, which is operational 24 hours, 7 days a week. Okay? Meron din silang Facebook page, DPWH, so para nila maasikaso. Okay? Ito pong mga sana, no? Kasi, you know, ladies and gentlemen, driving from the South Luzon Expressway regularly into Metro Manila, you can tell the difference in the quality of workmanship dito sa Metro Manila. Kasi we are the national capital region. This is where the business centers are. The top residential areas are. This is also where one of the most, how do I call it, uneven roads can be found. Yung lang pong EDSA, parang pinagtagpi-tagpi. Akala mo sapin-sapin. Ginaganon-ganon ka. Well, actually, some of my motoring friends are very happy. Kasi sabi nila, they try the NLEX, SLEX, and Skyway for performance, speed, etc. of test vehicles. Kung gusto nilang i-testing yung mga SUV, dinadrive nila sa Metro Manila. Hindi na nila kailangan lumabas ng Metro Manila sa sama ng kalsada. Sasabihin ni Secretary Mark, Cito, kuyang, ba't naman? Hindi ko po sinasabing butas-butas. Bagamat, yung Meralco Avenue, Corner Show Boulevard, ayun, walang masyado makagalaw pag palit ng ilaw kasi pag gomo, tugudug-tugudug, lubog. Okay? But anyway, EDSA lang po. It is such a, parang quilt, patchwork, na mararamdaman mo talaga yung tagtag, yung uneven spaces, etc. And before we go to the front page, another announcement from the DOTR, DOH. Yung sabi po nila last week na time purse, yung mga mask, kung magkasambahay naman, magkasama sa bahay, hindi na dapat issue yung walang nakasuot na mask kasi iisang pamilya. Ayon, Indian giver, nagbago na naman ang isip, naku, ewan ko na nga ba, sinasabi ng mga panahon ng mga ninuno natin, yung parang ewan ang utak, sinabi, bawal na hindi nakamask. Okay? Tapos sinabi, okay lang kung magkapamilya. Pagkatapos yun, hindi. Basta more than one person, maliban sa driver, pag yung driver may kasama, you have to wear a mask. Will you please, okay? This is management by laziness. What? You just don't want to create options? You just don't want to create variable? You just want to make it a sweeping policy because you can? Because you have the power? Medyo parang unreasonable naman. At saka, can you please make up your mind professionally? Hindi yung yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay? In any case, that's para na ako nag-editorial. Hindi, nakakapikon po eh. Sinusuportahan natin ang gobyerno, sinusuportahan natin ang DOTR. But please make up your mind. What is it? And before you make announcements, really study it. Study it for several months. Interview people. What are the... hindi, kayo-kayo lang eh. Kayo-kayo lang. Hindi nyo nga ma-address yung kung paano makakalabas ang mga bata at matanda. Pagkatas, ayan na naman, kinalikot nyo na naman yung maskara. Nasa kotse ng pribado, sasabihin pa nyo kailangan nakamask. Kayo kaya, yung mga ibang government official nga raw, hindi na kailangan mandatory yung testing. Ewan ko sa inyo. In any case, let's go back to the front page of the Philippine Star. Malacanang says that the inoculation of vaccines, the inoculation of around 1.4 million health workers can be completed in a month or within a month. Okay? This as more than 5 million COVID-19 vaccine shots from COVAX facility would be delivered this month. To see is to believe. Okay? Speaking of vaccines, local airlines are gearing up for the transport of these vaccines. Hindi lang po sila naghahanda, nag-i-equip na sila. Kanya nga, gearing. They're putting on the necessary gear for the handling. Kasi iba po yung handling ng bakuna. As they are now making sure that they have the capabilities to support large-scale handling and distribution. Kasi alam nyo po, kailangan talaga, sabi nila, yung refrigerated facility, equipment, tsaka yung pag-deliver, dapat halos mouth-to-mouth Kumbaga, pag-deliver ng truck, dapat pagsalo, pasok na kagad sa kabilang freezer. Kasi any variation of temperature, tas mainit pa, paktaylo tayo dyan, paktay yung inyong bakuna. So, and remember this is a cost to the airlines. Baka mamaya, sabihin na naman nyo, pinagkakitahan. Hindi po, pinagkagastusan ng mga airlines. Okay? In other news, Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana has told military generals to refrain from issuing statements on the red tagging of journalists. This after the spokesman of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, Lieutenant General Antion Parlade, drew flack na batikos for floating the possibility of filing charges against an Inquirer reporter who wrote about two ITAs or ITAs who claim to have been tortured by soldiers. So parang ano na raw ngayon, cyber libel na raw yun or crime na raw yun under the anti-terrorist law, ano yun, aiding and abetting or giving support to terrorists daw. Mahirap yata yun. Nagtatrabaho lang yung mama o yung bata pagkatapos sasabihin ninyong aiding and abetting terrorist. Okay, yan ang yung sinasabi. Kanya nga po, si former Chief Justice, hindi pala siya Chief Justice, former Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio nagpunta na sa Supreme Court at sinabing, teka, this is supposed to be being heard by the Supreme Court. Your honors, the honorable magistrates, can you please do something about the statements of this individual? Kanya, ayan. Pero interesting, pag journalist, pagtatanggol. Pero pag tiga-UP, kayo, explain ninyo. Ganun. Anyway, wag na. Baka pati ako masabing supporting terrorists sa UP. Anyway, the Social Welfare Department is working with the National Bureau of Investigation. They are tracking down who are behind the Facebook accounts that claim to facilitate illegal online adoptions. Okay. Medyo yun nga, akala ko kanina, sinasabi na ng DSWD. Kasi based on the headline, sabi, DSWD, Babies for Adoption on Facebook. Akala ko, nag-online na rin sila, kalabas-labasan, hindi pala. Yung pala, sinasabi nila na yung mga walang hiya, ginagamit na yung Facebook para manloko. Now, here's the thing to our friends in the DSWD, and alam naman nyo, we support the DSWD. We always have interesting, pleasant, and informative interviews with them. But, if there's a chink in the armor, if there is a hole in the back of the DSWD or on its performance, that's one of them. Kasi ang dami ko na pong nabasa at may personal knowledge ako sa mga ilang kaibigan who tried and went through the process of adoption, and most of them have said it's a nightmare. It is extremely difficult. Parang everyone is presumed to be is suspect until proven innocent and therefore can adopt. In any case, puntahan na po natin yung ating first interview kasi last week, pinag-usapan. We talked about the bike lanes and that there is so many 100 million pesos dedicated to bike lanes all over the country. Unfortunately, we could not get the government side on things. So today, a team agenda has invited Assistant Secretary Mark Stephen Pastor, the Transport Assistant Secretary for Road Transport and Infrastructure. ASEC Pastor, good morning.
Magandang umaga po, Sir Cito, at sa mga tagapanood po natin at tagapakinig po natin sa ating programang The Agenda. Magandang umaga po.
Okay, ASEC Pastor, yung pinag-usapan kasi namin last week, itong mga bike lanes. And pagpaumanhin nyo na, kung medyo nanggigigil kami last week, it is not nanggigigil sa departamento nyo or sa gobyerno, but nanggigigil kasi medyo nakakatakot na sa EDSA and national roads. Ang daming nagbibisikleta pero wala pa rin yung protected bike lanes. Now, I understand you have points to clarify. Please go ahead, ASEC Pastor.
Thank you, Sir Cito. Opo, meron po tayong, tama po yun, meron po tayong funding for the protected bike lanes natin. No? It amounts to 1.3 billion pesos po, and it was provided sa Bayanihan 2. So ang ginawa po natin, we divided the funds po. 800 million will be for the National Capital Region and 150 million each po for Cebu and Davao. And 200 million for our bike sharing program po, which is with our partner agency MMDA. And we would like to inform the public po na for the Cebu bike lanes po natin, we have already started construction, and as we speak po, there's more or less 20% na po of the bike lanes in Cebu. For Davao po, at stake survey na po yung winning contractor ng DPWH, and for the National Capital Region, meron na rin po tayong nasimulan na pavement markings, particular po dito sa SLEX Quirino Avenue to our nais, and yung fabrication po ng road and traffic signages are already in process. So for the other parts of the National Capital Region po, magsisimula na rin po tayo sa civil works. It's just that because of the new leadership din po natin sa MMDA, kay Chairman Abalos, pinakita po natin sa kanya yung programa dahil nga po bago yung liderato nila doon, upang makita rin po nila yung na-prepare po natin na bike lanes. To clarify, Sir Cito, if I may explain further, sir, no? The Department of Transportation would like to re-emphasize its full commitment for the active transport natin in the country. We will pursue po itong protected bike lanes. Together po yung ginawa po ng Interagency Technical Working Group for Active Transport. Kasama po natin dito ang DPWH, ang DOH, at gayon din po ang DILG. So, ito po, we have our firm commitment po to deliver the protected bike lanes.
Well, that is admirable, and that is something positive to look forward to, ASEC Pastor. Now, kindly explain, what kind of protected bike lanes are we talking about? Because in the eyes of many of my biker friends, it is literally a lane where no other vehicle or anything can come in because there is a physical barrier. But you mentioned that the areas have been marked. So ano ba, may nakikita ko ditong mga parang cement blocks. Ganyan ba yung malalabas na protective barriers o pintura lang sa kalsada? To be fair, to be fair to the DOTR, my wife is from the Netherlands. Doon wala naman talagang pader, pintura lang, kasi doon sanggol ka pa lang, sinasakay ka na sa bisikleta, 2-3 years old, pinagbibisikleta ka na. So, nasa utak na ng tao that the bicycle lane is sacred. You hit someone, you cut someone, or otherwise trespass into that lane illegally, you are going to get fined, and you could even get your license suspended. Paano po ba dito sa Pilipinas? What or who are we copying our bike lanes from?
Thank you, Sir Cito. Maganda po yung katanungan, and maganda rin po na malinawan namin ito sa publiko ngayong umaga. Meron po yung pinakita po munang litrato, Sir Cito, that is an actual picture nung construction po sa Cebu for our bike lanes.
Okay.
So ito po, shown on the screen is what we call a Class 3 bike lane po. And yung kanina po, yung may barrier, it's Class 2 po. Ngayon po,
Mhm.
nag-issue po ang DPWH together with with the OTR ng
Mhm.
design standards po for our bike lanes in the country. Pursuant na rin po ito dun sa Joint Memorandum Circular na pinirmahan po ng DOTR, DPWH, DILG, and DOH.
Mhm.
Na babanggit po dito sa design standard na to na sa Pilipinas po, meron po tayong tatlong applicable na bike lanes po. No? This is in accordance with our international standards. Yung first class po, ito po yung tinatawag na uh, bike lanes, separated bike lanes, not in the carriageway. Ibig sabihin po, sir, meron pong
Mm.
provision, more or less yung makikita po ninyo ito sa Rojas Boulevard, na hindi po nasa kalsada yung ating bike lanes. It's totally separated po from the carriageway. Hindi po kasama ang mga sasakyan.
Mhm.
Ito po, ginagamit po ito in certain areas which is applicable po based on the road configuration.
Mhm.
Yung class
Lilinawin ko lang, ASEC Pastor, ladies and gentlemen, that video that you saw was a test run of the bicycle lane concept. Hindi po yan yung sinasabi ni ASEC Pastor. Yung sinasabi ni ASEC Pastor ay katulad nung nasa EDSA na nasa bangketa. Kumbaga, hindi naglalabo-labo yung mga bisikleta doon sa pinakakalsada. May fence. I think I am correct there, ASEC?
Tama po kayo, Sir Cito. Yun po yung
Mm.
tinatawag nating Class 1. Ngayon,
Okay.
sir, we also recognize na yung ano nga po, no, may mga, well, mostly dito po sa National Capital Region, wala ho tayong bangketa na pwede hong paglagyan ng ating bike lanes. Kung
Mm.
kaya't meron ho tayo yung tinatawag na Class 2 bike lanes. Ito po yung nasa carriageway po yung bike lanes, pero separated po siya by concrete blocks and bollards. Ibig
Mm.
sabihin po, ito pong bike lanes natin na ito, wala pong makakagamit dito bukod po sa mga siklista natin. This
Mhm.
is in order for us to give them the ample protection po while they are using our bike lanes. And
Mhm.
yung Class 3 naman po, sir, ito po yung demarcated only by pavement paint. Ito po yung
Mhm.
pinakita kanina sa Cebu, which is in color green, kung makikita, maalala nyo po kanina. Bakit po
Mhm.
meron Class 3? Ang protection po dito, basically, ano lang ho, rumble stickers. Pero ito po yung nilalagay natin kung yung bike lanes po ay dadaan sa isang establishment. Kasi may usually, sir, may driveway po yan eh. So that they can
Mhm.
still access the establishment po. So ito po yung, ayan po, that will be considered a Class 3 bike lane po natin.
Mhm.
So ito pong tatlong classes na to will be put up in our national roads based po on the configuration that is available to our contractors, which was procured by DPWH po.
Okay, ASEC Pastor, in Metro Manila, saan namin aabangan yung at saka gaano kahaba yung una naming pwedeng makita? Kasi alam mo, pag lahatan tayo magsalita, parang kailan pa matatapos yan? Saan ba yan? But if we go by, like I'm thinking that the DOTR, DPWH are going to do this by phases. Kumbaga phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, lalo na sa Metro Manila. Do you have any schedule and areas para at least makita ng mamamayan, ayan pala yung sinasabi ni ASEC Pastor.
Opo. Sir, being the construction arm of the government, yung pondo po natin, we downloaded with the DPWH because of their expertise po dito. And what they did po, I recommend DPWH for this po, under the leadership of Sec Villar. Yung ginawa po nila, for context, sir, for the National Capital Region, we have 350 kilometers of bike lanes, protected bike lanes, more or less po. No? And these are located po sa ating national roads. Ito po yung R1 to R10, C1 to C5. Other roads, particularly Visayas Avenue, Quirino Highway, and yung atin po sa EDSA. So ang ginawa po natin, because of the validity of funds is only until June 30, yung Bayanihan 2 po, as pursuant po to the law that was passed to extend the validity of Bayanihan 2. Ang ginawa po ng DPWH, they divided it po into 9 contracts. So there are 9 contractors, sabay-sabay pong gagawin yan.
And
So,
kailan at saan, Asek Pastor? I hope no, you don't mind the
yes,
way
sir.
I put that question kasi kailangan categorically malinaw tayo. Kailan uumpisaan at saan? Kasi nabanggit mo, well, you actually, in passing, nabanggit mo na yung saan. You have EDSA, you have C1 to C6, no? And then yung R1 to R10. So, ito medyo mahabang mga kalsada yan. So, okay na yun. And EDSA. Ngayon, who are we going to see first? I mean, meron bang kasi alam ko naman mahilig kayong ng groundbreaking eh. lagi ko nakikita yung mga groundbreaking ninyo. Nagkakatotoo naman, to be fair, Nagkakatotoo naman. Kanya lang, parang nanggigigil na kasi kaming marami. Parang, saan ba? Saan ba tayo pwedeng makakita nito? EDSA
Opo,
ba?
Sir Cito, nagsimula na po no, nung
Hmm.
February 1. I think yung contractor po ng DPWH started February 1 sa may Quirino Avenue po, sa may towards sa may SLEX po, no. And
Mhm.
over the weekend, nagsimula na rin po ng lane markings dito sa may JP Rizal, Pedro Hill, C5 area po. So
Mhm.
tuloy-tuloy na po 'yan. It's just that we are coordinating po with MMDA for the issuance of the necessary traffic management permits po para po masimulan na rin po yung ibang segments po natin. In fact, may meeting po kami this afternoon with MMDA, DPWH, and DOTR.
Okay, now paano mamo-monitor yung mga lanes na yan? Kasi siyempre, pagkakagastusan mo ng 800 million, although to be fair, maliit, baryang-barya yung 800 million. Pero sabihin na, diyan na yan eh. Let us all be thankful for what we get, or what we have. But the question is, how are we going to monitor this? Kasi alam mo, to be fair with DPWH and DOTR na rin, may nagsabi sa akin na kaibigan, sabi, Kuyang, dun sa C6, ang ganda, gumawa sila ng bicycle lane. And sa ganda, sinubukan namin. Kanya lang, tuloy-tuloy, ang bibilis daw nila, muntik silang malaglag sa butas kasi meron palang hindi pa tapos. Ang tanong sa akin, Kuya, ang tanong mo naman, kailan ba matatapos lahat yung nasa C6 and other, yung mga ganun ba, yung mga new roads na nagawa na pero oops, may balakid.
Opo, good question, Sir Cito. Opo. Yung as to management po, no, we have tasked, of course, yung ating po mga partner agencies sa law enforcement. Kasama po
Mm.
natin dyan, of course. Dito po, for the OTR side po muna, we have LTO, we have yung Interagency Council for Traffic, at gayon din po ang ating mga kapulisan, kasama rin po natin dyan. And we will also tap, of course, po yung hingi rin po tayo ng tulong sa MMDA and of course sa local government
Mm.
units po, no, to maintain these bike lanes. At nananawagan din po kami sa ating mga siklista na since this is for our interest na sana tulungan din po kami kahit papaano mabantayan po ito
Okay.
24/7. Kasi sir, if I may
Yeah.
during the I think it was during May or June, lumapit po sa atin ang mga active transport groups natin asking for an immediate solution po sa bike lanes dito sa ating hospital loop sa Metro Manila, gayon din po sa Quezon City. Kung kaya't
Correct.
nakipagtulungan po tayo sa MMDA at DPWH, we made po an interim bike lane system para
Mm.
po makapag-bisikleta na maayos yung ating mga nagtatrabaho at that time, wala pa po kasing public transport upang meron po silang safe access to hospitals, gayon din po sa kanilang mga trabaho. And we constructed a temporary bike lanes nga po dito. Ngunit
Mhm.
nakikita po namin every now and then medyo ninanakaw po yung lubid, nawawala yung mga ibang plastic bollards. Kung kaya't
Mhm.
po talaga it's really a collective effort para po ma-maintain natin itong mga bike lanes natin.
Okay. Asik Pastor, and may I request the team agenda if you can replay yung video na Chinatown ba yun? Kasi may mga may nagko-comment at nagtatanong na rin maraming lugar dito sa Metro Manila na may parang may guhit na puti. There is a white line that is like 6 to 10 inches from the curb. And they're saying, ano ba yan? Kasi it's too narrow and too close to the curb sa bangketa to be a bicycle lane. And so they're kind of confused. How will we know what a bike lane is versus this these weird white lines near the bangketa?
Siguro we have to specify, Sir Cito, kung if these white lines are pavement markings po for the road in itself, or kasi ano po, no, medyo marami
Kasi
ho kasi
alam
tayo.
natin yung lane divider, putol-putol yon. Pero maraming LGU, or ewan ko kung LGU yun, parang may solid white line that is almost sa may gutter eh. And people are saying, ano ba yan? Ano ba silbi niyang puting guhit na yan?
Tama po 'yun, Sir Cito, no. So babalikan ko po yung yung interagency technical working group for active transport. Kasama po natin diyan ang DILG. Kasi we recognize po the initiative of our local government units to have their own bike lanes po. So for uniformity, kaya po naglabas ng design standards ang DPWH at gayon din
Ayan,
po ang
ayan. Yung tinatayuan ng mga bisikleta na yan, Asik Pastor, kung nakita
Opo.
mo. Ang dami nagtatanong sa akin, ano ba yan? Ayan, yung nasa kaliwa. Ano ba yung guhit na yan?
Opo. Ano po 'yan, those are lane markings po for the motorized vehicles po. It's not yet for the bike lanes po.
So kasama yan sa hatian ng linya kasi
Opo,
nagtataka
opo.
sila yung solid white line. Sabi, ang labo naman yan. Sa lahat ng bike lane, yan ang pinakamakitid. Ano kami? In any case, may quick question, Asik Pastor. Pwede po ba mapabilis pa ang construction nitong planned bike lanes? Kasi medyo nanggigigil na nga ito. Tinawag sa atin.
Opo. Sir Sito, i-clarify ko lang yung white pavement markings po dun sa kanan. Recently po kasi because of the shift sa EDSA busway, minabuti po ng MMDA na magkaroon po ng lane dieting na tinatawag. Inayos po nila yung mga linya para hindi po ma-confuse ang ating mga motorista sa EDSA. Kung kaya bagong-bago po yung mga linya na yon. So
Okay.
the white mark on the near the gutter po, yun po demarcates the lanes for the vehicles. Ngayon, Sir Sito.
Okay. Quickly. Yung mapapabilis ba? Nahubusan na tayo ng oras.
Opo. Sir Sito, yun nga po yung sa bike lanes po natin. Initially po kasi ang timeline natin diyan with DPWH was October to November of this year because of the length of the bike lanes natin. Gayon din po ayaw natin na mag-cause ng traffic while constructing it. But because of the law that was passed na ang validity nga po ng pondo ng Bayanihan 2 is only until June 30 of this year. Minabuti po natin with the DPWH to revise po yung program of works na dapat po matapos na siya as early as June 30. So gagawin po nilang 24/7 yan. That's why we are in coordination with MMDA po para po they can the contractors po will submit the necessary traffic management plans po para hindi po makaabala sa trapiko kasi gagawin pong 24/7 ang ating construction for these bike lanes.
Okay, Asek Pastor, thank you very much. Mark Steven Pastor for your explanations today. Ganyan sana, lagi mag-uusap tayo. Kasi ang dami nyo eh. Masyado kayong busy, ang hirap nyo kunin dito sa show. Anyway, thank you for all the insights and we wish you all the best and we hope na sunod tayo mag-interview. Kumbaga ribbon cutting na. Okay.
Opo.
Thank you very much, Asek.
Sir Sito, yung po sa amin, we would like to re-emphasize nga po the commitment of the department for this active transport initiatives po natin. In fact, sir, kung mabanggit ko lang, we also have this Green Waste Initiative. It's an elevated walkway po along the stretch of EDSA. It's masyado siya technically difficult for us to construct but we're still pushing for it because it is needed by our countrymen. So dito naman po sa bike lanes natin, meron din ho tayong BLM sa Pilipinas. Sir Cito, if they're in the States, meron po silang Black Lives Matter. Sa atin naman po, BLM, Bike Lanes Matters po. So we are in full support po of this program. Maraming salamat po at magandang umaga.
Thank you very much, Assistant Secretary Mark Steven Pastor of the Department of Transportation. That's something to look forward to. But in the meantime, we go for a quick break. Next up, we have Deputy Spokesperson for the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, Mr. Mark Timbal. Good morning, Mark.
Sir Cito, good morning, and to all our viewers and listeners, good morning po.
Okay, kahirap naman itong sitwasyon natin. Ano, na-interview kita pag may disaster o may
Yun nga
problema.
po.
Diba? It's part of your job. Para kang doktor
That
eh,
is
di ba? Pupuntahan
correct.
ka lang pag may problema o may sakit.
That is true, sir. Although we also have development activities to prepare for these emergencies.
Oh.
Pwede po pag-usapan din natin yung
Okay, next time, pag-usapan nga natin yung paghahanda sa mga earthquake kasi mukhang manadadalas na the frequency of earthquakes is almost on a monthly basis and everyone still keeps talking about the big one, but for the moment let's talk about that apparently there was also an almost big one down in Davao. 6.1 daw in Davao del Sur. Could you please give us the update, Mark?
Yes, sir. An earthquake po, 6.1 magnitude earthquake happened in Magsaysay, Davao del Sur. If you remember, this is almost in the same place like the 2019 earthquakes that happened in Mindanao. So far po, ngayong umaga, in those areas, especially in Sultan Kudarat, they had suspended office work in government as well in schools and other establishments in view of the assessment of the buildings in those areas to determine the structural integrity of those structures. So between 8 a.m. to 12 noon, wala pa pong pasok muna doon habang inaantay po yung result of the assessment. So far, sir, we have not received any report of fatality. But what we were able to confirm was that there were 5 people who were injured as a consequence of the earthquake. Pero ito pong lahat na ito ay mga victim po ng falling debris. Some of them had sustained head injuries because of the falling debris, and those are in Makilala in Cotabato Province. In Kidapawan City naman po, we also have one senior citizen who also got injured, bringing the total to 5. The total damaged houses, the total partially damaged houses had been counted to 21, and total damaged houses were counted to 3. May mga na-damage din pong hospitals as well as schools. And during yesterday, when the earthquake happened, nagsuspende po muna ng mga misa doon sa simbahan doon sa locality to make sure po na walang madidisgrasya kapag nagkaroon po ng mga aftershocks.
Okay, merong update, nakakabigay pa lang sa akin, 5.6 magnitude quake, JOLTS, Davao Oriental, aftershocks expected today lang po ito.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. What's happening ba, Mark? I mean, stupid question to ask, no? But pero parang, why is it all there? Meron ba kayong napapag-usapan dyan sa NDRRMC na would scientifically explain why that part of the Philippines is now getting it? Kasi funny enough, we were just talking about sinkholes and about natural gas extraction kanina in Holland, and how it has created problems in the topography. Dyan ba sa Davao, yung areas na yan, may mga mines ba dyan? Ito ba masyado namang malalim para masabi natin, or meron bang bulkan dyan na malapit?
So far, sir, may volcano present in those areas, but in this area. But so this is not connected to the earthquakes. And sa ating pakikipag-ugnayan po sa ating mga kasamahan sa PHIVOLCS, what we have been informed was that this area is constantly undergoing pressure, literal pressure po due to the movement of the tectonic plates in the area. So yung mga fault po na existing doon sa province dyan, sa area na yan sa Mindanao, ay lagi pong naiipit in coming from different directions, coming from the Pacific as well as in the southern part of the island. So ito pong movement na ito ng tectonic plates are causing pressure, causing the faults to actually move, and this causes the regular earthquakes. In preparation for the possible occurrence of these earthquakes again and again, we are intensifying our earthquake education program para po yung mga communities are prepared. The local governments naman po nag-step up na din sila dito sa challenge na ito, and the preemptive evacuations are being done because right now, Sir Cito, we are seeing the regular occurrence of minor landslides in a lot of those communities pag nag-earthquake. Kaya po ang ginagawa na ng LGUs is inaalis na nila talaga yung mga tao doon sa communities na in danger of a landslide in case a major one happens.
Okay, so in as much as you are also the agency or the Office of Government for Risk Reduction, what is being done in terms of the architectural design, construction policies, etc.? Kasi sabi mo kanina, may mga nabagsakan sa ulo, and of course, pag the higher you go, the greater the chances of debris falling, and depende na rin sa construction. Kanina sa video, anything made of concrete, ayun, putukan. Meron na bang napapag-usapan na given as what the FIVOCs have said, that area is going to be susceptible to earthquakes? Is there a plan of redefining how construction goes where that is?
So far, sir, what's been discussed here at the NDRRMC level is to ensure po talaga na yung recovery and rehabilitation ng mga damaged structures will be following the Build Back Better principle na sustainable and resilient na yung structures. And this will be done through the proper enforcement of the building code. Kasi nakita po natin itong nakalipas, especially in the 2019 series of earthquakes in that same area, na may mga ibang building doon na technically parang katatayo pa lang pero nasira kaagad because of the earthquake. This may be a reflection of what engineering processes had been employed in those buildings. Kaya po ang mas mahigpit na ngayon po ang pagmo-monitor ng ating DPWH, mga district engineers natin, in so much as to measure yung ating pag-comply ng mga private industries, private individuals, as well as government offices sa building code.
Okay, so maliban dun sa 5 individual o 5 katao na nasaktan, nasugatan, wala namang masasabi tayong malalang sitwasyon na nangyari o kaya economic dislocation for the towns or business center dyan. Kumbaga parang sanay na kami dyan, lagi namang lumilindol.
It's when it comes to the economy, the local economy, Sir Cito, medyo technically affected talaga sila of the COVID-19. But pero itong earthquake natin, temporary suspensions of work lang naman po. After noon time, balik trabaho na po lahat yung mga opisina del gobyerno, mga eskwelahan, etc. But so far, walang major damage na encounter, especially doon sa mga kababayan natin. But in the situation of the earthquake po, nung nangyaring earthquake, yung mga hospital po dyan sa Kidapawan City had to evacuate their employees and the patients habang nung nag-earthquake. Pero nung na-establish ulit yung structural integrity ng building, balik hospital na po sila.
Okay, well, thank you very much for all that update, Mark Timbal. We will ask our viewers na pagdasal po yung mga kababayan natin dyan sa Davao, at sana ay hindi na masundan for at least for a while, kasi ang hirap, hindi pa sila nakakabawi nung nakaraang taon, 2 years ago. Ngayon, ganyan na naman. In any case, thank you very much, Mark, and please keep up the good work, and may the Lord reward you for your efforts. God bless you, bro.
Thank you, sir. And I would like to invite everyone to keep on participating to our earthquake drills. We have a new earthquake drill scheduled this March, and this will be done online in compliance to our COVID-19 protocols. So sana po mag-participate po yung mga kababayan natin sa gawain pangkaligtasan. Thank you very much, Sir Cito. Good morning po.
Okay, that's Sir Mark Timbal, Deputy Spokesperson, National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. And alam niyo po, maliban do sa pag-participate sa earthquake drills, humaghanda na rin kayo ng alsabalutan. Sabi nga nila, grab bag. Hindi to grab ride, hindi po ito grab deliver. Ito po yung konsepto that you have a standby bag na may mga kopya ng mga important documents, emergency materials, pagkain if necessary, para kahit maggumuho man yung paligid mo, pag nadakma mo yon at nakalabas ka, you are at least confident that you have the necessary identification papers and bank, whatever. Grab the bag and move on. Okay, we will go for a quick break, and depending on connectivity this morning, we will speak with the owner, founder of Malabon Zoo, Aquarium and Botanical Garden, Manny Tangco, after this quick break. You're back here on Agenda, and next up we have Mr. Manny Tangco of the Malabon Zoo, Aquarium and Botanical Garden on the line. Manny, good morning.
Good morning, Tito. How are you po?
Okay naman, Manny, and I heard that medyo desperate times dyan sa zoo dahil sa lockdown, and maraming mga bata hindi nakabisita o makapunta dyan. What is the situation at the Malabon Zoo, Manny?
Well, we're very happy here po. Always dito, but realizing po na 10 months na po kami, more than 10 months na po because of the pandemic, we have to ask help from everybody na po, na po na extra funds po kayo to please help donate some extra valentine barya for the food of the animals po. Magpa-valentine na po. So, just in case meron pa kayong barya, I'm sure ang importante po, tulungan natin ang kapwa-tao natin. Pero kung may barya pa po kayo, you can please deposit some amount to the Malabon Zoo Foundation account po, the BPI, 4641-000332. Checking account po yan, and that's the only account that we have sa Malabon Zoo po.
Okay, Manny, right now, gaano ba karaming alagang hayop meron ka dyan sa Malabon Zoo? Kasi the last time pumunta ako dyan, decade na yata, may 10 taon na yata, tinitingnan ko yung iyong arapaima at saka yung mga arowana. Balita ko marami nang nadagdag sa mga alagain at mga responsibilidad ninyo dyan.
mentioned that your wife was from Tangco and bata pa sila, the filing niya po, doon nakita ko po yung to visit the zoo there, and nakita ko nga po yung mga mother na nila hanggang ginagalang po ng mga pag-train ball po. In the same time, nakita ko din sa first world country, yung mga bata pa.
Okay. Manny, if you don't mind, we'll reconnect with you. Medyo parang may problema tayo sa linya, but we will try to reconnect with Manny. In any case, whether we are able to improve on that connection or not, I am personally appealing to all of you. Kasi ito pong Malabon Zoo, nag-umpisa naman ito. Katulad nating lahat, many of us, when we were kids, we wanted to have a pet rabbit, a hamster, the most popular pet nowadays. Yung iba naman, manok. Yung iba, aso, pusa, etc. And some of us kind of settle for one. Some of us kind of settle for a dozen. Depende sa ako. Lagi ako inaaway nung mag-ina ko dahil ang hilig ko raw mag-manufacture ng mga aking halo-halong aso na Great Dane at saka Belgian Malinois. But because the dogs are both, they're not pets. They're actually members of the house, and they are actually work dogs. They guard, they provide security kasi dito sa Pilipinas, pag nakitang dambuhala ang aso mo, medyo nagdadalawang isip na, okay? I remember a well-known industrialist na sinabi niya sa akin, yung sa labas ng kwarto ko, sa bahay, sa garden, nandoon yung mga maliliit kong aso. Yung mga yip-yapper kung tawagin niya. Pagkatapos, akala ngayon ng mga papasok, maliliit ang aso. Hindi niya alam doon sa loob ng bahay daw nung itong industrialist, puro Doberman. Isang araw, pag-uwi niya, halos hindi siya nakapasok dahil nakaabang yung dedicated, devoted Doberman ng misis niya. Mainit ang ulo sa kanya. Na-train pala yung aso na pag hindi niya sinabihan, walang makakapasok kahit yung industrialist. Walang say yung pera mo dun sa aso. But in any case, in the case with Manny, Tangco, and the Malabon Zoo, through the years, I have seen that it's love. Pagmamahal po sa hayop ang pinagmulan ni Manny Tangco at hanggang lumaki ng lumaki. Lahat naman po tayo may pagmamahal sa alaga, sa hayop. Okay, Manny, you're back. Manny? Okay, Manny Tangco, I don't know, we don't seem to be connecting with Manny Tangco. In any case, babasahin ko na lang po, yung zoo, the Malabon Zoo needs our help. All of us, kayo pong lahat, basta kung kayo ay nagmamahal, whether it's aso, pusa, kambing, kalabaw, pansabong, siguro naman naintindihan ninyo yung pakiramdam nung papanoorin mong hindi mo maalagaan ng husto yung hayop kasi talagang mahirap naman yung magpapatay ka. Kasi yung iba, ang solusyon nila, magbawas ka. Hindi ho ganun kadali. Leon, tigre, mga kung ano-ano na nagbigay naman ng aliw at kaligayahan sa mga anak natin, dapat naman siguro magsukli tayo. In any case, the telephone numbers of the Malabon Zoo, telephone number of the Malabon Zoo is 02-8361-3064. Ulitin ko po, 02-8361-3064. And kung gusto naman nyo, dumirekta, alam niyo, wag niyong mamaliitin. Kasi yung sabi po ni Manny Tangco na barya-barya sa Valentine's, alam niyo po, nagpapakumbaba. Manny is being humble. Manny is avoiding imposing and making this sound like he is trying to get lots of money. No, he is trying to get enough money. Manny is trying to get enough money for the Malabon Zoo. Let's give it one more chance. One more chance. Manny Tangco, one more chance, my friend.
Maraming salamat po.
Manny. Okay, I think I'm going to have to do the pitch. In any case, sabi po ni Manny, barya-barya lang po makakatulong sa Malabon Zoo. Let us think big, help big. Kasi sometimes we limit ourselves because nahihiya tayo. We limit ourselves kasi ayaw nating mag-impose. Alam niyo po, kahit mga para pakain, sabihin niyo, yung tao nga namang problema, hindi po yung pong hayop nakakulong, yung pong hayop hindi nakakapagsalita. Ang alam lang niya, nag-aabang siya na yung kanyang mga tagapag-alaga ay papakainin siya. So, the BPI checking account of Manny of Malabon Zoo Foundation, the account name is Malabon Zoo Foundation, BPI checking account number 4641-0003-32. Yan po, account name Malabon Zoo Foundation sa BPI. So sana po, I'm personally requesting our viewers, if you can spare some cash, send it to Manny Tangco, to the Malabon Zoo, because alam ko po na napaka-dedicated at devoted nila dyan sa mga hayop na yan. Hindi sila basta-basta, kumbaga, hindi nila shortcutin yan at gigilitan. Paglalaban yan ni Manny at tulungan natin ang Malabon Zoo. Okay, that's all for today here on Agenda. I would just like to thank all of you for watching, for joining us this morning. And dun po, sa mga nagre-react, nagre-respond, I will try in the near future to set up a text line para makapag-text kayo directly sa akin. Kanya lang kumisan kasi hindi ako magaling sa multitasking. But nonetheless, here's just a thought for you. Wherever you are, you have been placed for a purpose. It may not make sense, it may seem odd, but God has a purpose. I have found that in my life. God put me in media, started many years ago. I thought it was media that God wanted me to do, but it turned out it was just a stepping stone, or kumbaga an open door so that I could minister to certain people in power, to pray over presidents, to be the Bible teacher of one president who was in detention. And then the Lord gave me a drift car, a racing car, a Skyline GTR, Nissan Skyline GTR. And I thought, wow, thank you, Lord, you love me. Pero yung pala, the Lord's plan was for me to minister to young guys and girls who are drifters. Yung mga paikot-ikot ba sa kotse, mga Fast and Furious. Parang nagkaroon ako ng credibility kasi meron din ako. So wow, kahit na matanda, naka-drip car, pero hindi nagdi-drip. Kasi nakatambay lang ako doon para makalapit sila when they needed advice, when they needed support. Then finally, lately, I have been in the sabong circles again, and I kind of scratch my head. Why? But as it turned out this weekend, I was actually able to share the word with some people and encourage them and pray with them. And so, I do not put barriers. Sabi nga nila, walang holy-holy. Basta, pag may nahuli, dalhin kay Lord. Yun lang po ang labanan. God places you in certain locations or situations in order to do His work and to be a blessing. May you be blessed and may you be a blessing. Thank you. That's Agenda for today.